thing.
Whoa!
All right, welcome back to Just Enough Garage. As you can see, I had some bigger tires I put on there just for review. I put on the rack on top. These are just stationary. Today we're working on brakes. We're going to get rolling on that right now. Okay, so a video or so ago, Mariana showed you what was in the box from Rock Auto. Okay, the reason she did a great job at the end of the video. For you guys who have watched us struggle to get through the brakes, we ended up going with Rock Auto. Couple of reasons. Expense was one of them. I didn't need it right away. And today it looks good. Everything, I'm just about ready to put it on, so I was going to go over that real quick. She said about 3 hoses. Yeah, that's 1 hose for each of the fronts and the 1 hose for the rear axle. This guy, she didn't understand that. And then on the wheel cylinders, I'll show you that these are typically a left and a right, and it has to do with the angle of the when it's installed. That's the only difference there. And then the spring kit, the master cylinder, and the booster all looks good. We're going to jump on that right now. John and I probably will try to film some of it, but it's been kind of rainy today, so we're just going to maybe blast through that and get rolling so we can get to driving. All right, so I am going to film some of this. Flare nut wrenches. You guys can take a look at this little set I have here. These came from a yard sale, actually, probably a few years ago. I don't use them very often. They're each size, 1 end standard. The difference between a flare nut is you see that it has 1, 2, 3, 4 sides of contact versus 2. You see how that's got a bigger. So the 7/16, otherwise they're just a standard wrench, 7/16. The idea is on flaring tools such as this, that will fit over the hose diameter, right? And then you can see if this will break free or if it'll break. All right. Let me get my hammer and tap that. I like to use a hammer to give it a shock. I'll just be 1 second. Delay. I just put it on pause. No. So is it still playing? Oh, nice job, camera guy. Okay. I like to give these things a little wrap. If you guys are from different parts of the country, you're going to get salt and issues. This isn't too bad in Washington. Yes, we get rust, but this isn't going to be too bad. Ideally, I'd like to hit it that way, but of course, that's the wrong way. So we'll try it this way. It looks like we were a winner on that one. Yeah, there we go. Now, if you don't have a tool like this and you feel like it's going to round off, I've just put a pair of vice grips on the 2 sides, and that works pretty good too. Otherwise, this is probably going to make a little bit of a brake fluid mess. It's not the end of the world. Ooh, it's cold. Today our weather is gone kind of nasty. It's what is today, the 1st of December? Like I was saying earlier in one of the videos, we're usually a couple of weeks difference between when you see them, because I like to stay ahead of schedule a little bit in case I ever get sick or I have to work extra or Mariana's not available. It gives us a little bit of an opportunity to kind of keep on schedule. For you guys who've been watching the last couple of videos on this car, it seems like it's some positive stuff, and without very much interaction from you guys, it's hard for me to guess exactly what we're doing, but it seems like everybody likes the older vehicles. So John and I just this morning, wasn't it, we went and looked at a 73 Ford, 74. It was made in 73, but it's a 74 model. F350 with the same 6-cylinder engine and 4-speed. It's going to be kind of a will it start, will it run kind of deal. I can't work on it where the guy's at, so it's going to have to come here, and then, you know, it's a field truck, it's a farm truck. So if that all works out, we should have a will it start deal. And that one, John wants to fix it up and kind of flip it. And it's an old truck. I mean, it's 50 years old, but I don't know. We'll see what happens when we get it. We were just thinking the price was right and we could get it for parts for this one or whatever. But anyways, we'll get back to you. I want to keep working on this. All right, I had to go get some different wrenches. Stack them up here on my tool bench. So a couple of 5/8 to get this. Oh, 5/8 don't fit that one. That's all right. I got 11/16. All right. I'm not sure what that adapter's for, and it's going to obviously be put on the next unit. But this is so hard to work on this thing when you're leaning over. Okay. Okay. So when they're talking about twisting off the lines, see how that wiggles? We don't want that to be rotated, so I have to be able to get all this loose. I know back east and stuff, they'll corrode around here. Again, in Washington, we don't have too much trouble with that. That one should spin. But that's where sometimes you'll see them put heat right in there and to break that rust free. In this case, I just got to knock it free. So there is a right and a wrong way to turn a wrench on. Well, people believe there is. I believe there is. And it's designed, especially on an adjustable wrench. See, I would put it there. You could put it there. It may not make a difference. Oh, there's a lesson too. If you have your hand like this and it slips, it's going to smash. But if you have your hand like that, it probably won't smash as bad. Let's try it. See how my hand is all right? Because I thought ahead, John.
Are you sure about that?
Yeah, all right. Pretty exciting watching a nut turn, huh? Watching a nut turn a nut. Yeah, we're eager to get this car up and going. Marianne is more eager than I am. I like to say I'm not in love with the car is an understatement. It's just, I don't know. I was working on it, and like I say, the whole world shut down. Some things happened at my employment, and all of a sudden this has gotten shoved back onto a back burner. And then I guess I'm frustrated, not with this car only, but with the 280Z that you guys saw in the first video around the corner of my shop. They're both in the same place. Well, actually, this one was further ahead. It had a running engine. But I tried to make 2 gambler cars one time, and I got a little bit out of, what do you call it, over my head. Anyways, projects. Too much ice cream, you know. Every flavor looked good. And I don't know, maybe you guys put that in the comments. People who start a bunch of projects and then they get, I don't know, like probably ADHD or something. You get 80% through them and then you realize, I don't even love this anymore. Like, turn around and show that Suburban there, John. So that Suburban, you guys followed the video. We got it to that far in the summer months. And then I said, we're not going to work on it for a while. Well, I'm ready to work on it again. It's not that I wasn't before. I just wanted to get this Ford going. And here's that adapter. We'll keep it for... But now that needed a clutch. So I think when we finish the 53 Ford, get it out into the woods, get it running, driving, I think I'm going to jump back on that, put a clutch in it, because now I'm eager to drive that truck some more. 283, 5-speed. I think I'm ready to go on that again. I would love to live in a climate where I could drive them year round, but we don't. I mean, we're not as bad as Alaska or Minnesota or somewhere, but it's not very appealing here in the winter months. So it's going to really turn nasty here in February, January, into February, into March. All right, John, I got to go inside and take the bolts out. Oh, let me take this off because we need to. Yeah, last time Marianne and myself, we worked on this for a couple hours, and you guys saw a couple hours worth of video. But I bet it's a 9/16. But now we got parts, so I'm kind of eager to get the whole brakes done. I think last time I bit off more than I could chew for time-wise. It's just, this car is just a time eater. Everything takes so long on it. Probably could put my impact gun on there and will it go faster, John, if I use the sounds?
I don't know.
It's getting tight. Let me go get a tool. So, put you on hold. Delay. So I was gonna talk for just a minute while I'm working on this, because I feel like I need to entertain my folks. The reason I went with the Rock Auto deal was it was $177 for all that junk, plus like $23 to ship it. That was over $300 in town, and I thought, well, I know it's not a lot of money difference, but there is a risk. There is a risk when you're using Rock Auto, and the risk is mistakes. Their mistakes, your mistakes, doesn't matter. And the shipping back is a real hassle, so sometimes you can make a mistake on that. What I did there with that stuff is, if you've used the Rock Auto website, you guys will know when you buy your first item and then you go to your corresponding items as you're loading your cart, there's a little truck on there. If that truck shows up, that's saying it's shipped from the same location. That will save you money, because it's just one box then, right? Instead of different locations. And I didn't put calipers in that load of stuff because they had a core charge and there'd be some shipping and everything. Well, I can get those in town just as easily for the same money. So just give you a heads up if you're price shopping, if you're on a budget. Like I say, I think a lot of people like this for entertainment, or they're on a budget, or they're trying to do it. This is just hobby work for us. And well, let me go inside and take that stuff off. Okay, so we've been working a little bit off and on. Well, more on. We had to more on. We had to go get some washers to put behind here to space this out. It took us like an hour to go a mile because the fire department had downtown all screwed up hanging Christmas lights with their truck. Yes, it's a small town. I guess they still do that. But come on, really? On a Friday afternoon? Shoot, people wanted to get by. So I'm ready to mount this. I'm going to bench bleed this on the vehicle. And this is what I was seeing. So, John, can you come over here and show people? So this thing is loose. It's an adjuster. And then you see how that's not embedded in? If I was to force that, it would always keep pressure on the brakes. So what you want to do is adjust this until that's just right, just dead even. Almost there. Okay, so now I got it pretty close. Let me bring it out, because we still have the 1 inch of throw here, and I measured this inside by pushing a screwdriver and had like 1 3/8. I don't know if that's going to be enough to throw us off when we go to bleed it, but I'm hoping it isn't. I'm going to go with that. So in order to tighten that, let me get the wrench that fell on the ground. It's an 8mm, and I've got these little pliers in case I need to hold the back, but I don't know, because there's knurled. So you jam the nut in. Yeah, it's going to want to turn. That was a good idea, but it wasn't going to work. Anyways, yeah, set that up. And then this should, there might be a little bit of pressure on that. I'm going to put it in just a fuzz. When you tighten it, obviously it moves. Probably should use some tranny locks, but I didn't. I'll give that thing just a little, about that much. I sometimes make the comment, I hate working on these cars. That's not true. I like working on the cars when they're cooperating. When they start messing me around, I'm like, why did I do this to myself? Again, if you're in that position, I made this speech before. Hey, we got extra washers. I'm going to put one under there. Let me go grab it. Anyways, I went down and spent $1.18 at Tractor Supply for probably, what, 25 little washers? You're doing by the pound down there, so washers don't weigh much. It probably cost more in diesel to go down there and wait in line for an hour than it did to get, you know. I'm going to put them on there just so I got them. Okay. And then we'll, like I was saying earlier, we'll bench bleed these on using the pedal here. That's what these plugs are for. And we're just almost there. I think I'll go ahead and get this all straightened up and get back with you. So you don't want water in your brakes. I guess that's what causes them to get spongy. I've heard the water heats up and it doesn't compress right or something. This was a brand new bottle. Other than leaving it in the rain, it should be all right. Lid was on. Okay, John, why don't you stand up here and film that while I push on the brake pedal. Look down inside there and you should see air bubbles. Do you see any air bubbles?
Yeah, I've seen a couple.
Oh, nice. Let me know when the air bubbles stop. So on this end, all I'm doing is just moving the pedal back and forth. What you want to do is get the fluid way down into the cylinder itself, into the master cylinder. Is it leaking from those side ports, those plastics, or is it all right?
It looked good.
All right. They got air bubbles? I always like the ones where the tubes go over and you can see. Here it feels like you're always guessing. The pedal really hasn't changed feeling yet.
Getting a lot of air bubbles.
Oh. Well, it's starting to feel different. Oh, yeah. How's it doing?
Air bubbling.
I have to start using my foot now. So that's what I was saying. If that rod isn't long enough, we'll never get all the air out of it because it's not quite going to the end. So we could do all the other brakes and everything, but then if we're not getting all the air out, it's because the rod. When I built the rat rod, I didn't have my pedal length right and I couldn't get it bled right. And then I made the pedal longer, the rod throw longer. Solved it in no time at all. So when you guys saw before, I put washers behind the master brake cylinder and I mounted it to the wall, which put it out, but the pedal won't come up anymore. The pedal hits the floor, and then the pedal hits the top stop. So I've got it in as far as I can do. The only thing I can do now is either heat the pedal up and bend it so I get more throw, or I have to cut it off and re-weld it in a different position. Or I can extend it up there, take the washers out and bring it back in, but that didn't fit very right. So how we doing?
Bubble every time.
So I pretty much got them.
Every time you push it down, the bubble still comes out.
All right, well, let's work on the stupid hoses on the front while we got daylight. Did it use up any fluid? Does it need to be full, or is it still just the same amount?
It's halfway down.
Yeah. Here, let me watch it. You go work the pedal. Take the camera with you. People want to see the pedal move, John.
Almost fell off the ladder.
That might just be the normal movement now. It's not putting out big air. Yes, it's moving. I'll do that for another 4 or 5 times. And I'll put the lid on it. So if it starts raining again, we're covered. And then we'll work on these front hoses, I think. Because the front half of this should work. The back half is where I got to change those wheel cylinders. That might be a tomorrow deal because of the weather and the day and the short window we had today. So on these brake hoses, that's what we're going to do next because that's what I want to do next. Again, I show you I like to use a wrapper and give it a little wrap. John, you want to bring me one of those hoses and figure out which one's left and right?
Yeah, they weren't labeled very good on the.
No, you did a good job
themselves.
taking everything out. It looks like we got everything right. What you want to see with these banjo bolt, these are called banjo bolts. I don't know why. They have a hole. The center's hollow. This fluid, there's a copper washer on both sides, right? So what you got There should be a copper washer on here. Oh, that's going to need to be cleaned. And then these hoses are shaped. So figure out which one goes where, Johnny. Yeah, you're going to have to hold it up there and figure it out, bud. And that's okay if that old oil drains out, because then I'll be putting new fluid in it. Otherwise, if you're quick, you could do that and not have so much to bleed. But and which way the bend going? See that bend? Take it out of the wrapper. Let's look at it. We bought it.
All pieces.
They should come with new copper washers, but you got to use your bolt again. I said I was going to get new calipers, and I haven't done it. I'm not going to do it yet. This is the wrong one?
It's got the same bend that one's got. Goes the other way.
Then how come it's shaped like that? That would be for the other side, you see?
This
you
rounded
see,
shape is the bolt.
Yeah, exactly like that. See that shape?
Yeah, you see that shape?
So you're happy with it?
It's the right one.
All right.
I can get you the wrong one.
No, let me get my grinder. I'm going to cut this off back here, get rid of the hose, and that way I can put a socket on there. Because I'm going to have to work on that. Smells like old rubber. So when you look inside, now this may have worked. I don't know. I'm not taking a chance. But this hole, what happens is you've got thousands of pounds of pressure that pushes through the oil system, through the plunger, and expands that. Well, it actually, yeah, expands that. But what happens is it pushes here with one, this is one piston, fills with oil. It pushes on the backside. At the same time, it moves forward, dragging this one, and producing a clamp. When you let off the brake, the only thing that pushes it back up there is the reserve of the oil, just the relaxation, lets the oil go back into its system. Well, the problem is if these get corroded up and the rubber starts to collapse, it keeps resistance on there, which then allows the brake to drag. So if you've ever had a car or a truck, you've been using it for a while and one won't let go and you can feel it hot, you can smell the brakes. Typically it's your hoses, if they're more than, like, I don't know, 10 years old, 15 years old. I mean, these are probably originals, so there's no reason to save them, you know. So now what we got to do is put a wrench back here, hold this, and then put a wrench on here and take it off there. But I think there's a clip. Let me get the light.
It's been undercoated on.
Yeah. Yeah, it's got issues. This is where we don't care about the hose. All we're trying to save is the piece on the backside. Yeah, see, it's got that clip on it. I don't know if you guys can see that. I know what it looks like, so I'll break the hose free.
Isn't it like one of those washers that's kind of split?
Yeah.
It's kind of what it looks like through the camera.
Yeah, I don't know that we'll even put those back on. Sometimes I just let them go. Other times I try to put them on. Sometimes I've wired them on. Those clips we'll do our best to save it, but I'm not going to put a lot of stock into it. Oh yeah, you got one there. So then it should, yeah.
Come show the people. Oh, like a horseshoe. Fun.
As I showed you earlier, my flare nuts tools, we already had a big conversation about it, Mary. When we were taking the other part off. I'm going to have to get down there and get wet, I can tell already.
Do you want a creeper?
A who?
A creeper, we got a few.
Okay, yeah, this one's got a cable on it, like a coiled, like this piece. So that doesn't want to fit over. Thanks, Ford. Let me use my eyeballs. You're not gonna fill my plumber's crack, are you, Mary?
No, you got on a long shirt today.
Oh, do I?
Yeah.
I mean, oh, that's what it looks like. Okay, it's got a big clip in behind it on this side. We might have to go get new ones of those. They're pretty rusty. John, you want to go get those foam pads we had earlier that were over there somewhere for my kneecaps? I can see one on the back of the rat rod. That you got to see, because this is real life. So when you're old, a little bit out of shape, angry most of the time, your knees take a beating. So if you can get off the concrete any which way you can, Where I work during the day, I gotta wear work boots everywhere.
And it's cold, wet concrete.
Yeah, it's outside. Anyways, so I've got the tubing removed from the backside, and now there's a clip, and these are really difficult to remove. This is where your failure rate's going to be on these particular vehicles. I'm not exactly sure what the right tool is for this. And I'm not exactly sure the right way to... let me see your camera. Oh, yeah. You can kind of see that clip right in there.
Yeah, not very focused, but something.
And you usually end up ruining those clips. This isn't going to be a fun deal, no matter how you do it. Like I said, I've usually ended up ruining those clips trying to get them off. They've been on there for 40 years, so they're used to being on there. So you've been off camera for a while. You see I got that out. I can't even find the parts. These are underneath of a car like this are all the parts you don't need.
I can.
You can see that?
Yeah, because I saw where it fell. It was steaming the...
So I finally just ground it right off.
It's still steaming.
I just ground it right off up here because this is your tube behind. That clip was just so embedded into rust. I just ground the front off and tapped it through.
And it made a huge explosive pop.
Yeah, it did. I mean, there must have been fluid in there that was trapped. When it got hot, it bubbled, and then it popped the line. So now I got to clean this when I should just be going down and buying new ones. But I'm giving it the old, hey, maybe it'll work today.
Oh, yeah. And Darian asked for some.
Yeah, I told John, bring me a screwdriver with a good tip, and he brought me all those. And
He told me to keep getting you some. I kept going.
I'm thinking that maybe we don't have a good screwdriver. Would you unplug that so my hand doesn't come off?
His best screwdriver he snapped last week.
Well, yeah.
He wants to wire brush it.
Yeah.
He doesn't know where his hand wire brushes are, though.
Oh, it's because I'm disorganized. All right, plug it in, John. I got safety glasses, though.
Yeah, and your ears.
Well, that's clean. All right, where's that hose at? Got a new copper washer?
Yeah, right here in this bag.
Co-op
There's just one?
washer.
There's two in there.
All right, you know what? I think I'm going to put this other end on first, actually. So that's supposed to fit there, huh?
I think I know why it's called a banjo bolt.
Yeah?
Yeah, because it's hollow through the middle. Like a banjo's hollow on the back, it's just a drum. That seems the most, like, visually makes sense-y.
That's what you're going with?
Yep. We'll ask the Google later.
Ding, 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 ding.
Banjo is a fun instrument to play. 4, 5, and 6 strings.
How come this doesn't fit in here? Oh, it's because I'm an idiot. It fits perfect. You just have to ask dumb questions. All right. Now I'll start this threading in here. Oh, yeah, that's nice. This is going to be another 2-week-long job. I can see why people don't usually film putting brakes on. Brakes and wiring, those are things that there's just no satisfaction in watching them, or they're hard to film. You know? Necessary evil, is that the right term?
Sure.
I should say, though, don't be afraid of doing brakes, but be aware of what you're doing when you're doing brakes. If you say to yourself, oh, I think they work, you better check. Because if you don't have good pedal, you don't have good brakes. Anyway, so this copper washers. These are important. Do not reuse these. Get a new set every time. They always leak if you try to reuse them. I don't know why. And it seems like the copper washers from the 1980s, you see how thick that one is?
Mm-hmm.
You see how much thinner that one is? You see?
Yeah.
These sometimes do leak, and I hate to say it, but sometimes you do end up using your older one. So if it leaks, I'll come back and I'll put the older one here on this casting.
Put them both on.
No, you can't double gasket.
What about when you're siliconing with your head gaskets? Is that not double gasketing it?
And that's what are you talking about? Silicone? You don't put silicone on head gaskets.
I've seen it on there before. No, not copper spray.
Where's my 9/16 wrench?
Silicone
Is it
around
buried
the
under
edges.
there?
Probably.
Is it underneath your knees?
I don't know. Mary, is it another delay?
Yeah, you're getting your paper towels wet though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Get a 9/16 wrench off of there, John, and pick up my paper towels, please.
9/16.
Thank you. I'm gonna put a little spray lube in here. So anybody who just said you contaminated your brakes, you're right, I did. But luckily, I'm going to bleed them all out. I'm trying to they don't give you a new bolt, which just blows my mind. There should be a new bolt that comes with these, but
Gave you a new washer?
yeah. All right. And again, I don't know if these calipers are even going to work. Good and tight. So that's done until we get the whole system put together. We'll go around and do the other side, clean up our mess. So in the opener, I showed these big tires and the roof rack up there. I'm going to mount the roof rack for certain. The big tires I might just use off-road. These are 33 by, I think, 12, and those other ones were 32 by 8 or something like that we'd had on the car. These probably will work all right. I don't know. They were on my wheelies for a bunch of years, and I just put them on here the other day to see what it looked like. And some people say, well, it's on jack stands. It doesn't matter. Yes, but the jack stands are on the axles, so this distance here will be the same, and it would just push down on the tire, which these are kind of flat anyways. They really don't hold air very good. I got to break them off the beads and clean everything.
We've gotten a lot of wood and gravel in the beads over the years.
Well,
and I've had to take off tires and
they were used when
redo
I
it.
got that equipment, and they're used today. So this side here was the disappointing side because it has been all the stuff's removed. Oh no, the cable's here.
Except the cylinder.
Well,
and cable.
I think we might have to go on a field trip to get parts for this.
John, you're in the way.
Yeah, John.
Over.
John, we're in the way. You want to bring my little socket set, Johnny? Because we're going to have to heat this up too and do the same thing. You want to shine your camera in? I think I showed it on the last video of brakes when we were in here. It was daylight then and we cared about it. I don't know if you can see that. So the way this flare nut tool goes on, it's a really heavy tool. So that it's supposed to keep that from... Let's see if it... Oh yeah, see that one moved. Otherwise you got to heat the nut up. And what you don't want it to do is have this tube behind it move. All right, that's where it twists off. And you see that's kind of moving. So I'll have to put some spray on it. The liquid wrench. Some of it will go on there.
If you're lucky.
And then you just work it and trying to break that rust and corrosion. If you got to make a new tube, it's not the end of the world. What I've been doing lately when I have to make a new tube is I just find the length that's closest with the ends. And then I kind of make a loop in the middle. I mean, it would be great. You can buy these probably, but for $7 you're done and you're on the road again. Someday maybe that'll give me trouble, but that's kind of why I want to make sure the emergency brake works on this. So we might have to go get the parts that we're missing, you know. But we'll try to put it back together without it right now. Just the other option is I cap off this and just use the front brakes, but I don't like doing that either.
Not very secure.
Well, I like to have it right. You know, yeah, I could feel that wanting to twist. So we're going to heat it up. All right.
That's the sound the striker makes.
I bet it'll catch fire now with that oil on there.
Yep.
Why is everything I own on fire?
Heating yourself up.
You guys want to warm your hands?
Yeah, it's actually doing a pretty good job.
Maybe the axle grease will catch fire.
Maybe we'll burn the whole car down.
You're not going to burn up my camera phone there, are you, Mary? Smells like a barbecue.
That's what I was going to say. It smells like lighter fluid.
Yeah. Now we should have hamburgers. I'll gladly eat a hamburger today and pay you Tuesday. Who said that?
You just now.
Wimpy. Goofball. Don't you know your Popeyes?
It's probably been a good 17 years since I've watched anything Popeye.
He was a sailor man.
Yes, I know. His favorite was canned spinach because he's a psychopath.
So now I'm going to have to try to pinch the tube because that didn't do it. Blow out my fire, which is actually a pretty good little light, you know. John, will you bring your light over here? Would you hold this light?
He needs you to hold the light.
It's just shine it just in here just a little bit more. Right where the wrench is. Yeah. See how it's trying to twist that?
No, I can't see anything.
No, can anybody see that? Am I the only one who can see this?
Yeah, I can sort of see it, but you're the only one who can see it.
All right. Let me just put the light here. Why are you working at night? Well, because it got dark at 4 o'clock. That's not my fault.
It's not even 4 o'clock.
It's not? What time is it?
Well, it might be 4 now.
3:25.
Well, it was 3:34 last time.
It's 3:59.
Oh!
4 o'clock. 3:59, 4 o'clock. That's about the same.
Yeah, about the same.
Yeah, this is going to want to break. Okay, there's another way of doing this, and I will demonstrate. John brought my socket set. Open it up.
Is that breaking it?
No, we're going to take the wheel cylinder out, and then we can hold the wrench on there and rotate the wheel cylinder. It's a way of doing it. That's what I had to do on that Suburban, but then I ended up replacing all those lines anyways because they all broke. If that's the right one. Again, this is a pet peeve of mine. They don't sell the new bolts with these, so you have to reuse all your hardware when you buy a new wheel cylinder. I guess you could go down and buy new bolts, but, you know. I'll be honest with you kids, this is the point of the job where I start to kind of get like, you know, we've had some.
I don't want to. You can't make me.
Well, I think the brakes, once we're past
Not my
that,
job.
I think once we're past the brakes, we're kind of over the hurdle. I think because the driveline works, clutch works, steering works, power steering works, four-wheel driver works. The seat would kind of go back in. We've left it in the rain because it smelled like cats. Yeah, it's all right if it's. Yeah.
It'll freeze dry over winter in there.
I was thinking I need to put it inside, but. Yeah, I think we're going to have to. I don't know if we're going to finish the brakes this round if we got to go to the dump, the junkyard. The junkyard's over an hour away, and they're only open Monday through Friday. And the guy's kind of a jerk. And did he have any of these?
Oh, he had a lot of these trucks.
80s Fords?
Yeah.
So we'd be able to get this.
We'd probably be able to get all of it.
This is what we need. Another one of those. And that little rod. And that little rod and that little crossbar is what we need.
You could probably get a whole new differential.
So when you're home. How do you change wheel cylinders? With a hammer. Duh.
I'm pretty sure I said last time we were filming, working on the brakes, maybe even.
No, that doesn't come. No, that comes through.
I said, I think, Dad, that everything you've worked on this, you've used a hammer.
Get that red pry bar, Johnny. I miss summer already. Does anybody else miss summer? I miss summer.
It's December 1st.
I know. I dug out my coat and my pants, and I'm like, I don't like it. It's all.
This is the first time he's worn jeans this year.
No, I wore them in the
Essentially.
probably up till March, April.
Okay, this season of cold.
It's probably in the car, John. Open the door.
Parmesan.
Farmer John. Farmer John. Is there a red bar in there?
Oh, yeah.
Well, now they know I didn't finish all the floor.
They haven't seen the floor yet.
Right, but I have to finish the floor before you finish the video.
That's true.
So,
Don't worry about it, guys.
nothing to see here.
Usually things are in order.
Well, we make them in order, but it's on my time, you know. Remember, we kind of ran out of metal, and then I found a little bit more, and then I was going to use that gas barrel for the floor, and then everybody freaked out, so now I'm thinking about what to use there, which probably will be nothing until I find something I want. Meanwhile, I'm working on a wheel cylinder, and I'm not
Do its job.
go in your hole.
Your
Okay.
definition of freak out was more exasperated than Jonathan and I saying, no, we like the gas can.
Yeah, I would have been already cut up if you guys hadn't stopped me.
What's cooler is a gas can than a floor?
I don't know why I'm trying to save this brake line. I should just send it to heaven, you know? Who am I kidding? That's where it's going to go. Maybe I can take it off the other end and then take it into the workbench. Oh, yeah, that other end looks like it's same problem as this end. Rusty.
Rusty.
Is she still filming? No. Oh, you're filming. Oh, well, you should come around the back here, John, where people can see me destroy this brake line. I thought she was over there. I've been defeated. You can see right there. That goes in there, but it's just twisting the line up. It doesn't want to break free, so I'm just going to go ahead and take it off and put my wheel cylinder on because it's junk. It's just not going to come apart without problems, so I invite your problems into my life. Please come hither. It's okay to use a new line anyways. These are easy to get, like I say. They sell them 1 foot, 2 foot, 3 foot more. There it goes. See, it broke it off finally. So now I can move on with life. Then we'll just kind of keep it for... We'll just take this. You want to take your nut, whatever, with you. And you got to be careful that... You got to be careful when you go down and buy these that they don't sell you metric ones. Because the kid on the floor, you're going behind and he doesn't know what he's doing. So I don't even need this. John, go find the wheel cylinder that matches this one. Got that thing going out the back like that.
Let's make you a little less crooked.
Well, I need to get a wire brush and in here. Where's that big wire brush at?
No, we couldn't find it earlier. That's why we gave you another one. Well, let's delay and go look for it.
Yeah, delay. So last night we were working on the brakes back there, and I painted that one. But right now we got just a little bit of sunshine in between some rain storms. So I love this phrase. I've seen it on the internet. So you guys call it rebuilding. Rebuilding. Actually, that looks pretty good. Mariana didn't think my 33-inch tires were going to look good. She said, "No, Dad, you're ruining it." But whatever.
90% of what you've done, people would say is ruining it.
Really? Did you hear what John said? 90% of what I've done, people say was ruining it. You guys realize this was in a field, and a guy was going to take it to the scrapper, and like a fool, I bought it thinking it would be cool.
Some people think it's ruining it.
Yeah?
Other people think this is cool.
Well, I think people think it's cool. I mean, I know that this black is just a waste of $1.85 or $10 or whatever I paid for this, but we don't have the brakes quite done. I'm going to try to put them together with everything I've got, but while the sun is shining, I'm going to... It's been kind of bugging me for a while that, you know, and it was suggested. I have a father still who watches the videos, and he had suggested that we camouflage it. Now, I'm not telling him he's wrong because he's my dad, but I'm not doing that. But what I am going to do, I think, is I don't mind getting some cattails and some ferns and stuff and going like halfway up, kind of like giving it a 80s. Remember when the 80s cars had those graphics and stuff on the lower part? I could do that.
No, I wasn't alive in the 80s.
Yeah, well, I'm not ready to paint these yet because I'm going to sand that down, and I'm not wanting to do that right now. But I do want to put the black paint. This is kind of the way I do brakes. I always paint the back plate. So that part, I was like, well, then I'll paint the frame while I'm here because it's a spring. You won't really see it, and it won't really matter. And I tried to hammer this spring over, and you guys know that you can see this had a half ton with overloads on it, but typically when you see them misalign, that's not a good deal for your suspension. This is indoor outdoor rust stop. Ooh, phone making noise. Rust stop. So this is the right paint to use, John. It's a rust stop. If this thing turns out real good, maybe we'll splurge for some Rock Auto shocks. Look at it. Yeah, classy.
Yeah, it's been dripping on the floor.
Yeah.
It's dripping everywhere.
Come on, Ace, the helpful place.
Quit shaking the can around. You're painting everything.
You guys kill me. Painting my hand. So tomorrow during the daylight, because we're running out, I'm hoping to get this side put together. I think we're going to have to go find new ones of these. Because I have all the parts yet. See, and I don't have the one on the other side. And what I don't have on the other side is I don't have this piece on the other side, which goes between, and I also don't have the lever. See that lever right there? It goes to the emergency brake. So this is where I think we might, and I don't have one of those plungers. I think I'm going to have to go down to the junkyard, take one apart, and get those 4 pieces. Oh yeah, exhaust pipe, black. We should put a big 4-incher on it, huh?
I'll just strap a trash can to it.
I'm diesel, man. I don't know. This thing will probably get tore off the first time I go over a big rock or something. Who knows? This thing might not even get out of the parking lot at our off-road park. We have an off-road park where I was figuring on taking this. It's got some good trails and stuff, but it's an hour away by the time I get there. And I don't know. I need to drive it somewhere, but I don't know if that's the right place to test it. Open differential. I mean, come on. How can that work, right?
I don't know. I think it'd look cool stuck in the parking lot.
Oh, it'll drive the roads, and we can get to some lookouts. And there's some trails I can drive.
Yeah, but the first trail to get up.
Oh, yeah? You think it can't do that? I think at the gatekeeper that go around, I don't think it's going to fit through there.
Yeah, that's what I was meaning by the first trail.
Yeah, I think once we're past that, we're on our way. But
I don't know. We've seen full-size trucks up there.
yeah. Yeah, my hand is sticky.
Well, quit painting your hands.
Yeah, you guys saw in the video where I had to grind that thing off, and that is typical. Don't be afraid of it. You know, I'm going to try to, like I say, I'm not making excuses, but I might be delayed again on brake pieces. And that's typical when you get on a big project. When you get on a big project like this, that all of a sudden you're hung up, you're stuck. It takes time. Don't get depressed. Don't throw in the towel. Just make a plan and go forward and do something. I heard a guy the other day on a video. Man, I cannot remember who it is, but it doesn't matter. He doesn't know me anyways. Saying don't put stuff on your car. And actually, that's why I put the cover on it, because I was putting stuff on it. But they say that's one way to do it, is you got to work on it. Even like just painting this, even though it's a terrible job and it's not going to last, it looks more finished. It looks more complete. You know, I just joke about that rebuilding. We know that's a joke. We know it. And that's the comedy of these. You know, you got to look at YouTube for what it is. It's entertainment. It's free. It's comedy. YouTube, of course, it's a weird thing because I normally would not be interested in doing this type of stuff. But the kids, John, Mary, they thought this would be a good idea to have people watch my stuff. And, you know, for you guys who are watching, I appreciate it. Sorry I don't have anything better for you. I think I said earlier we were looking at several different projects and different things. It's just I am so limited on space. You know, we live in the city. You know, to be real successful, you probably need I don't know, a big shop building that's huge with indoors and heat and all that. And this one has heat and indoors, but it's just, I don't want to put my stuff in the rain. So then I end up working outside, which, I don't know, some people would say get rid of your stuff. I've contemplated it. I was thinking about selling my M38 with a Jeep trailer because I really don't use them, but man, they're hard to get, and I'd hate to be like in 5 years. I always had this vision of going on the Rubicon with it, but it ain't happened yet, you know. So meanwhile, we don't dink around. What do you think, John? Should we put a skid plate right here? Because this seems awful low the way this is not the best Ford truck to have used for this, but again, my purpose was just to use it for a weekend deal. But ideally, it should ride all right. It's just rebuilding. New tie rods. Ooh, yeah. Yeah, somebody's speeding by. I don't know if you guys can hear that or not. We're actually kind of in the school zone, but people don't care. Yeah, all that stuff looks new, John.
No, well, the factory's quality went down then.
Oh, this all these two items. This is what I like working on my junk in the backyard, is that you guys notice I'm not a body man. I haven't fixed any of the rust. Part of the reason for that is these cars that I've got are not worth restoration. That would be called upside down. I would spend more on the restoration than what the vehicle's actually worth. If that's the case, I'll just go buy one that's finished if I was interested in one of those. But what this does do is it takes a vehicle that's kind of unique and it puts it back on the road for people to enjoy and myself to enjoy without a lot of money. What were we talking earlier? I paid $500 for the car, but then I traded all the axles, the overdrive parts, and a bunch of flathead Ford parts for the video game machine. There is a video on the video game machine. What is that, Mortal Kombat? Is that what that's called?
No, it's Double Dragon.
Double Dragon. It's a Double Dragon. And it's probably worth $300 or $400. So I figure, okay, I'm into it $100. I paid $160 for the truck frame and body and the truck for all the frame and stuff. But then I took it to the scrapper, and I think I was just in like $25. I got my money back just on the body parts. So then we bought brakes for it, which was $180. So at the most, we're into this for like $350 cash out of our pocket. We've gotten this far with this vehicle. It's now running. I've got the radiator mostly in, but I haven't finished that. The clutch is working, the engine's working, the gas tank is ready to go. I'd cleaned that a few years ago. And we just finished the interior floor stuff. So, you know, for a cheap car that the kids and I can roll around in the woods, it seems like a fun deal. it's just a hoot, you know. This one I kind of said belongs to Mary. So if somebody's interested in this and you decide you want to take it home, buy it, I'm going to have to start freeing up some space. If any of the stuff you see on the channel, if you're interested in it, just give us a email. Check the description. There's an email there. I think it's a Gmail, justenoughgarage@gmail.com, I think is what it is. But Mariana, she answers all that. If someone's interested in this, you know, shoot us an offer, talk to us. You never know. I got other plans for other projects, and some of these I'm not married to. That Suburban, I got to put a clutch in it. But if somebody's in love with that, I'll sell it, you know, at a fair market price. I'm not going to give it away, but then again, I'm not going to take advantage. You know, you're getting a movie car, so hey, I mean that's something stellar right there.
So Darian's got it all fixed up on this driver's side. Everything's new parts except our crossbars. There's another one down here. I don't know if I can. Yeah, those ones are scrapped, and we've got extra drums for both sides now. So we're gonna take our pick. Now we're getting started on the other side. It's a classic Washington wet winter day.
Okay, so you've seen already in this video we have struggled with these brakes. And it's not that we struggled with the brakes because we're not smart enough to fix it. We've struggled with enough time has passed that it's hard to obtain some of the parts. So let's talk about what I was able to purchase. Mary showed you before in the book. The wheel cylinders, you can get them. You can get new brake pads, no problem. And in here, let me take off my gloves. It's pouring down rain. It's on the verge of snow. We moved inside to do some of the work. I think you got a video already of the one wheel I finished yesterday while you were...
Yeah.
So these parts...
the rain during that too.
Okay, these parts you can buy. It's called a brake hardware kit. It comes with the springs, all the nails, the clippers, and that's no big deal, okay? So for you guys who are not a brake person, who are... Maybe you are brake people, I don't know. But what I'm telling you, this part is easy. Those are the parts we end up buying, the master brake cylinder, that. What I needed to go get from the junkyard. Oh, great, just ripped.
Oh,
okay. It's all right, it's all right, it's all right.
Need another doggy bag.
Well, I luckily I had those, because now you see how I'm losing pieces.
Well, you got that nuts and bolts bag. Bet that would work for you.
So,
On the table behind you.
Let me just get all my...
Out of the tangled wet bag, anyway.
Okay. So this is another brake drum that came with part of the purchase. See, so these pads are easy to get. What I didn't have was this part here that connected to the emergency brake cable. You see it connects on there, and there was new connectors. But if you don't have this piece of metal, then you're in trouble.
Brakes don't do anything.
You got to have this
Brake cable.
You got to have this part, which goes with part of the adjuster, the star wheel. You can buy these these star wheels, Mary. But this is the piece that normally some don't come with. Well, no, it just doesn't come with it because they expect you to reuse some of it. I got that. I got this. I got this cable. See, this spring here I don't need. That came with a new kit. So we put that there. This piece here I don't need. It came with the new kit. That spring, and that spring. This spring came in the new kit, and it goes on the end of here. But what I didn't have that came with it was this piece.
The keeper.
Yeah, this goes on there. And that, so yes, they sell you the new spring, but if you don't have that piece, I didn't have this piece. So those are the parts I needed. You remember we were missing one of these?
Yeah.
I have two of them over there on the ground for this, but now I've got these two, which I needed those. I needed that. I didn't have this. These nails, they call them. I didn't need that. And essentially I could get this part, but not this piece. So when you look at the parts of this brake system, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 pieces I was missing that I couldn't get anywhere else. So to understand what I'm going through, full-time job, daylight hours, being there when the wrecking yard's open, it's an hour and 20 minutes one way. Then this is just a mystery hunt. And you say, oh, go online. Maybe you could Google. I tried that actually after I found this junkyard by word of mouth to somebody else. And all it has is a phone number. And if anybody's ever tried to call a junkyard to say, oh, do you got any? And the guy's like, you just have to come look. So you have to make an investment in time. So that's why I had one half, you guys saw in the video, I had one half and the other half was missing the stuff. Okay, so now in hindsight, because the truck that I got them off had good brake shoes, they weren't new, but they were in good shape. The truck looked like it had brand new rubber hoses and stuff on the front. So somebody was driving it and then probably had an engine problem and it went in the junkyard 10 years ago, I don't know. So that was $50 for both sides. I spent $184 to get the stuff here, and I didn't have it all. So, okay, I've been doing it for $250 plus my screwing around time. And we had a nice hamburger while I was down there. But anyways, the time I get all that done, in hindsight, I probably could have just gone to the junkyard for $50, got all this stuff, and put it on because I'm not driving this car a lot. It's not going on the Autobahn. It's just going to roll around in the woods, and they would have worked. Now, what I did...
It wouldn't survive the Autobahn 100 miles an hour. German drivers are crazy.
Anyways, the point I was getting to is I wanted to have these pieces because now I checked emergency brake cables yesterday. They function fine. I'm sure I can figure out how to meet the 53 brake handle to the 86 Ford brake cables and stuff underneath. So it's pouring down rain outside. Let's show you our tent we got out there.
She's a beaut.
This is what we're going through so that you guys can have a video. So you better give us a thumbs up because we are earning it on this job. These brakes have been a struggle. Well,
that's the third time this freaking alignment pin has got my ankle.
You gotta quit stepping on that.
I know, it's my fault.
Yeah, I've
it's
got the
been there for
transmission
weeks.
collection here. I got some time coming up.
This one's a Subaru one, and that one's.
That's my S10 one I got yesterday.
Yeah. So.
Anyways, we're probably gonna just. I have some twisted off hoses and stuff, so I'm probably gonna just go ahead and finish the brakes, bleed them. I might show you depending on the weather, and then just like, yay, it's done. We're going to eventually get back on the Suburban, I think, in the next few weeks, putting a clutch in it and stuff. And anyways, this transmission's a twin to that one, and when I was shifting that, you remember fourth gear was a little weird, so now I got a spare. Anyways, I need to get in here over the winter months, put the transmissions up on the shelf, move some stuff around.
We do have a transmission shelf.
I do have a
I don't know if y'all
Well,
can
those
see.
old Chevy 3-speeds, somebody wants them. You can come and have them for a good price. The price of your gas, probably. The 48 Ford, I have some plans to clean out this trash, this mess, and start looking at that, working on that. I'd mentioned the other day about some cars. I got a project truck showing up. I made a deal with some other will it start crap, whatever. I try not to get too involved with that end of it because I like to work on my own items. But we got some other videos coming up. So let's jump on this. Mary, I don't know how much you're going to want to film in the rain. So let's just cut to the end where everything's awesome. Oh,
all right, enough talking. I got to get to work.
well,
Slam the door.
Let me tell you this. This is a comedy. I might do this. So the length of the videos, I understand, are right, and some people complain they're too long. Hey, don't watch them, okay? I'm not telling you not to watch them, but you got to be ready to watch them if you're going to watch them. But I thought I could make a video, Mary, where we get a car, and on this episode, we're going to do this, and it's like 15 seconds, the entire video. You show the beginning of the car, and then you just show it driving away. Yeah, it's done. I mean, is that what people want? A video that's that short? No, of course not.
I think we should have like 40 minutes of just nothing in between, of just Jeopardy music.
No, but
so they think it's
I'm
long
just saying,
enough.
these things take time. So you as the viewer, I appreciate you. I love this forum, this content, that I could do whatever I want and people watch it. It's great. However, I want to finish this.
With his amazing daughter.
Yes, oh yes, Mariana. Actually, you know, a lot of credit goes to you, Mary, because you're doing all the hard work. I'm just doing the laborist.
This isn't hard work? Okay.
No, type. Also, people who want to get a hold of us, check our email, send us messages. We try to answer.
It's always in the description.
Yep, it's in the description. I'd mentioned earlier some of this stuff. If you see something on this channel you want to own, hit me up. I'm thinking about selling some things just because.
Right price is the right price.
Well, I mean, that Suburban I don't need. My Brat, I've had it for a couple of years. That Willie's Jeep that we did a video on, the green one, the off-roader, and it has a matching trailer. I might be interested in getting rid of that. So I've had this stuff for a while, but I'm ready to move on.
to different junk.
It happens when you turn 50, apparently. You start looking at stuff. So I'm good with some of that. I know this is rambling, and hopefully it's not. But anyways, we're going to finish the brakes now. And we'll probably show you that they're just working due to the weather.
Okay. Alright, guys. This is the setup. Underneath, we got all the lights. Putting on the back shoe. The water only comes out right here, directly in the way it stands. So we're working it out. I was showing them our setup.
Oh, yeah.
Underneath here.
A miserable day.
Yeah.
Okay, so it's the next day. Despite the snow, the sleet, the rain, we got a little break in the weather. We're out here. I don't know if you can see, Mary. You can see up top the other frame of the car. This is the frame of the truck. This is the original brake line. It comes down here to the rubber hose, and then you got these two lines that go this way. Of course, I've destroyed those lines doing the wheel cylinders, so I've got new pipe. But I've also got this third hose, which goes right here, and then goes right there. We're to the point now. Sorry if I bumped you.
No, it's okay. I'm just getting, I don't know if you guys can see the exhaust is dripping off the water. Right on my head.
Eventually, we're at the point now of heating that. We're at the point now of heating that to try to get it to go. I've wire brushed it already. Try to get its corrosion out. And if I screw this one up, then that's line all the way up to the master cylinder, which isn't the end of the world because it's a new brake line. But if I could save this one, that'd really be ideal for me. So you want to heat up that too, but not too much. You're trying to separate the corrosion. And somehow we're still getting wet underneath the car.
Yeah. Well, it might be because
It's junk?
there was only part of a floor.
Yeah, let me get closer before it cools off. Ah, no, not hot enough at all. Doesn't even budge.
Well, and also you got the cold vice grips on it.
I really feel like, Mary, we've struggled this.
Oof! Oh, I just had a drip go into my ear.
I think we've really struggled with this whole brake thing. You know? And I think once...
You think we've struggled? You're not sure?
I think we've struggled. I think like this, we paid the piper on this, right? But once we're past this, I think it's going to be all like caviar. Caviar and roses. I'm using this acetylene torch, which doesn't have oxygen with it. No, turn it off. It draws air in through. Anyways, it's an old B-style torch farmers used to use. I don't think it's as hot because it's designed for copper, right?
Hi, John.
Yeah, I got John out here because I was so sure we could put this hose on in a few minutes so we can bleed these brakes.
Can you come over here and hold this camera for a moment, please? Just do your best while I take off my watch so it doesn't get soaked. Oh. Think. Oh. Sorry, it's messy, guys. It's so short down here. I have to use my hands, not the holder, so my fingers might get in the way for a moment.
Oh, it's starting to move. Oh, is that what success looks like? It's been a while. So while I've got you guys here, if you're actually watching this video, we've had a guy contact us from another YouTube channel. Let me remember his name. Axel Snake Dog. Out of Canada, I'm assuming, I think.
Whoa!
Okay, that's what I was afraid of.
It is, it's apart.
Okay, so you probably just saw we cut the video for a second. That blew apart. Why did it blow apart? Okay, I'll tell you why it blew apart.
Can you move your light so they can see? That's good.
Is that good?
Yeah.
Alright. So that blew apart because what happens in the hoses is they get a restriction in them. They build up pressure. I didn't think it was going to do it because I have the lines off at both ends. So it should have gone and bled. I probably should have hacksawed that off first Tech tip, please, in the future, hacksaw yours off if you're going to put heat on them. I've had them pop before. That one was pretty loud. It's like a little firecracker. Scared us. Of course, there's a gas tank here, but it's empty. I've cleaned it years ago. I have not put fuel in it, so there's no issue there. But what happens is they'll pop like that, and it's the potential to get that hot oil on you. In this case, it was so derelict that it couldn't. So which tells me most likely, Mary. Oh, nice drip in the eye.
Yeah, it's gotten in my eye and in my ear. Whoa.
Now it's starting to snow again.
Yeah.
Anyways, that's probably what his original brake problem was, why the truck was parked, is he wasn't getting fluid. He went into the brakes. These dang hoses, if they're like more than 10 years old, 15 years old, just...
That was almost real Southern. Old.
If they're old... Well, I'm laying on my side. I'm too fat for this. Anyway.
Old.
You want to make sure you replace them. Now, going back to Axel Snake Dog, okay? He's been leaving comments. I appreciate your comments. Interactive. I think he's almost up to 1,000 subscribers. He's a little channel. We looked at some of your videos, sir. I don't know your name. I'm sorry. I didn't pay that close of attention.
I just couldn't find it in the videos. I was trying. I think I found your kids' names and your wife's name easier.
Knock yourself out. Go over there, check him out, show him some love. I'm hoping he'll do the same to me, even though I don't know him. I don't know where he lives, but I love this forum, YouTube forum, for interaction. Here I am laying under a car on an afternoon with my daughter in the rain, fixing this thing so we can go have fun. But you guys are with us on the journey in that sense. I said you'll never get to smell or taste or drive or have the full effect of what the vehicle is doing, but you'll get a little piece of it, and we love showing that with people and sharing it with people. So we're trying to do that. We're gonna, I don't know, we'll probably fast forward a bunch of this brake line. You guys have seen it before. I also wanted to mention this real quick. Coming up on Christmas, I know that some of you guys may not even watch this far into the video. Our analytics say about 5 minutes is some people's all, but for you dedicated type, I appreciate it. Christmas coming out. Remember the season. Reach out to some of your friends. Take time to spend with your family. And we're doing that right now.
He's crying and I got water going down my face from the dripping in my eye.
We gotta move, Mary. We gotta move. Just reach out to those, you know.
And any holiday you celebrate.
Yeah, you know,
it's the season.
Let bygones be bygones. Shake hands.
What did you say? Keep your stick on the ice? Red, green it?
Yeah, that's our Canadian. We already joked about that. But
well, earlier in the house.
Anyways, we got stuff to do. Let's get out of the rain, Mary. So we're really going to just show you next time, because that thing scared me when it popped.
Yeah, this is just my whole face and arms.
Yeah, let's get out of here. Okay, let's finish. Ready?
Oh, yeah.
Is it going?
Yeah.
Can the people see my clamp? And when you finally get your hose on, and you've had to grind and destroy all the mounting hardware because it's been one unit, I am going to put this up here and hose clamp that thing on.
The two pieces went, and the two shall be joined.
Yeah, it became pretty corroded. You know, here I was thinking I was lucky because I'm not back east with rotten cars, but we got them here too. Anyways, I'm going to put this clamp up here just as an obstruction to keep that other one from coming through. Oh, it's genius. Look at that. Now I can't. That, you know what? That's an internet idea that I'm giving to you free. That's a tech tip on how hokey stuff is. Now, this is the axle vent line. So you see this thing at the top?
It just dangle on the road.
Yeah, well,
It better not.
It's supposed to be up like this. So in theory, if the axles have good seals, you could go in water up to this deep. Otherwise, the water will come in through the hole, but it has to vent, right? So as it builds up heat on the road, buy a house on a hill. You guys will enjoy the driveway. Anyways, as you builds up heat, it has to let the pressure out. So originally that probably connected to the body of a Ford truck somewhere. But I don't know if you can see up there, Mary, with these lights. And there you go, it's way up there. I'm gonna connect it with a little bit of axle movement. With these zip ties to keep it from dragging on the road.
Lame.
Some people will put a bolt nose or something, but don't do that. make sure your vents are venting. There should be a transfer case, a transmission, and front and rear axles. So if you go through some mud, we're not going to be that aggressive with this car, probably not. But on some of my Jeeps in the past, I've run all the hoses up to like near the carburetor or something, so that I know. All right, where's my tubing? So we got the new hose on. You saw it blow up in our face. The old line I was able to save. We're going to now cut the tubes for this. Well, I'm not cutting anything. I'm just going to take a factory one. Excuse me. I'm going to take a close to the measurement piece of tubing that's factory ended, and I'm going to put it on with an extra hump in it wherever I need to get it to work. Go over there on the Capri and grab me those 2 tubes, John. Got a short one from here and a long one for here. What's his name? Vice Grip Garage guy. He just did a Cadillac where he made a tube and it fit perfect. He's brilliant. You know what I am? I'm not. So I'm going to do the one I can do.
Didn't he also have his drum shoot off into the wall?
Yeah, wasn't that funny?
He said, I hate this car.
Well, you know, we actually hadn't finished that video yet because we came out here to see if he does make it the 500 miles or not.
To see if we can hate our car.
So now this is my pet peeve with O'Reilly's. O'Reilly's, if you watch my videos...
Oh gosh, she's doxing them.
If you watch my videos, put this sticker in the middle, because you screw us every time we have to try to get this passed. So then, because I'm a mechanic by, you know, like nothing, I try to jam it.
Every single time.
So then you try to say, oh, I'll peel that off, and then you got this thing jammed on here. So then I'll take it into my bench grinder where the wire wheel is, and I'll clean it. And it's like, we'll just put the sticker in the middle of those, and we would love you forever. Anyways, I'll be back when I do that.
His line is all a bit too long, and we can't find the bender, so...
Are you looking up my skirt here?
Nope, I have it zoomed in so we don't.
Good, because I don't like showing off my belly. The people don't want to see a belly.
Well, they'd have to pay for that.
Ooh. Yeah, we're not belly dancers.
We're not that kind of channel.
How come all brand new parts don't fit together? Riddle me that, Mary. Well, I complained and they worked. I have a fancy...
Sometimes you just gotta swear at it.
Yeah, well, I have a fancy... Oh, what the heck? This is a wrong...
Shoot.
Delay.
He has successfully found the right wrench through the wilds of our overfilled drawers.
You know what'd be cool? Is if I was able to like bend that around a really nice bend and come in the other side.
Whenever we ever been able to bend anything nice?
Well, that's what I just said. I was wishing, right? I mean, Christmas is coming. I was wishing I could bend it.
Write it in a letter to Santa.
Yeah, well, I'm going to try to make a snail right there.
A curly Q?
Yeah, or maybe a curly Q would do it.
A cursive O?
I have this really neat little bender that I got years ago, and I can't find it. The big one John's working on, because you remember when we did the hydraulic pressure hose over there. Apparently I bent the housing of it or whatever.
You bent the machine and not the piping?
Yeah. And I think I put it in the drawer without realizing it. Now I realize it. It's like, come on, America, get with the program. Start making quality. We don't have to rely on the Chinese to make garbage. We can do that on our own.
We can make our own garbage, okay?
I know that there'll be some growing pains, but let's
American jobs, we can make our own garbage.
Let's get back with it so that we got some quality, that the tool doesn't bend before the tubing is bending. Well, maybe I'll...
You want me to go look?
No, I just need to go stop and dig through all my... Hey, get a lot of tools, they said. You'll have one of everything. Yeah, all right. Then you'll end up with not knowing. Yeah, all right. You gonna be in the way?
Yeah, I think I'm gonna
Tell
stay
the
here.
viewers to back up from the screens.
You're too close. Back up, people.
I get that just right.
I don't know if they can see, but you can. So, ish.
I'm getting old. My patience is gone. My vision's gone. My body shape's gone. My hair is gone. Exhaust pipe's in the way now. This car is too high to work on, and then it's too low to work on. Oh, look at that.
Gee-hoo.
And then once you get it right, you're golden.
Stay golden, pony boy.
Golden. That was one of the words we had the other day. Golden rad. This one's got clips it goes in.
You also used janky at some point. Maybe it was in the house and you said, is that something you kids say nowadays?
No, I was walking around the back of the car someday.
And I said, I don't know, but it's what I say. Go in your home. Oofed.
You know, I wonder if any of people who actually built these vehicles, like worked on the line for Ford or Chevy or anything.
Ever had to work on them again?
No, like if they're like, oh yeah, it took 2 weeks figuring out how to do that, bud. Or, man, it was nice working there when everything fit and it was brand new and it was at working height.
And none of it was rust?
Nothing was rusty. I wonder what our obsession is with keeping old cars going. Our analytics, you guys don't like our new cars, the Subarus and even my Capri and my Brat. You guys don't like that. You don't watch those videos, so I'm going to quit showing you guys stuff like that. You like to see me struggle, apparently. Because these video series on this and the Suburban have been going pretty well.
There are some folk who like it, but this seems to be more popular right now.
They got to speak up, because I'm not a mind reader. So I got to use up some of my material. I'm just hand bending this gently. Oh, with the grace of my hands. You know, maybe I'll make a bigger hump up there. Is this one of those cases where, Mary, where
you go too far, break it, and then we have to buy new tubes?
Oh yeah, I've had to go down and buy new tubes before, but I'm hoping to. Is this one of those cases where it may not be right, but it's done, and we can just move on with our lives
until we have to fix it again?
Well, yeah. All right.
This is putting $1 of gas in the tank, okay? That's what this feels like right now.
We used to see that a lot when I was a kid, especially at the AM/PM. I don't know, do you guys have AM/PMs where you guys are from? Atlantic Richfield, I think, is what still owns them, which is part of BP. But anyways, AM/PM, somebody back when I was in high school, you could get a burrito or something and like 3 gallons of gas for $5, you know, and you could be on your way.
Yeah, not so anymore.
Nah. Well, gas station burritos have never been recommended. Well, like I say, it's got an extra hump in it.
Well, show the people.
But it ain't dragging on the road.
Yeah. I think they could see it all right.
This light is dragging on my creeper.
Oh yeah.
So this one here is actually going to be, the shorter ones are harder to do because you got to get, you got to get it kind of, I think I'm going to have to go out here and then back in there.
All right, what are we looking at?
Okay, so the old hose, right? Fitting, same size. New hose, made in China, not saying it's their fault. Same size. Oh, let's drill that one a different size. See, now the nut doesn't fit in there because it's wrong size. So I have to go buy one of these, Mary. This is for a different size because I took this one off the master brake cylinder because for some reason I didn't need it up there with the stuff that we ordered. So now I have to get an adapter, but somehow it has to go from big to small. So this one's going from small to big, and it's all backwards.
Delay.
I mean, come on. Where's the 9/16 wrench?
It's right. Is that no? That's 7/16. Oh.
Okay. I'm going to end the video here because, frankly, frustration beat me. Another one. Every time we're putting pressure on them, we just been going through the lines. They're just rusty. These are the original Ford 1986. This is that one that I worked so hard to save, and then the heat blew out the line, and now the rest of it is. We got the fitting. We put it together. We were bleeding the brakes. It's been raining off and on all day. We are soaked. I am soaked. You know how Carhartt jackets and jeans are when they're wet. Attitude went to heck. I said earlier, I don't know if it would be cut, so I'm going to say it right now. Be good to each other. Christmas is coming. Take time with your family. Reach out to those you haven't seen in a while. Work on your projects when you can. The brakes are going to get done. They're just not going to get done today. I'll probably go buy this stuff and I'll probably work on it tomorrow, but Marianne, meanwhile, I'll get the video going. So the only thing we got left to do on this old clunker is get the brakes working, connect the fuel tank, get it to start inside, charge an alternator, mount the radiator, which we have prefabbed, you haven't seen, but we've got that pretty well under control.
Put the seat in.
Oh yeah, the seat.
We got to put the seat in and
well,
some belts.
It's over there. I got it drying
right now. It is in the shop.
I got to re-weld some bolts to the bottom so we can bolt it to the floor. So really, probably one solid day with weather. That's
once the brakes
us.
work.
Anyways, we got some good things coming up. Thanks for watching. Analytics. I'm gonna give you an update. I know this is at the end. If you click off, hey, you'll never hear this. Analytics, we're doing really, really well. Okay, we need more subscribers, obviously, to get bigger. And share, like, comment. We enjoy the comments. Like I said earlier, we had a channel contact us just saying we're doing a good job. We appreciate that in making us feel good that we're doing something. You know, we're just regular folks out here doing a regular job, but we would love to see this thing going. I have some plans to use it over the Christmas holiday, and I'm struggling to meet that agenda that I've self-imposed. So we're going to see how we get. Anyways, thanks for watching.